Mindset evolution retention transforms you from impulsive to intentional. You start seeing patterns others miss. Money becomes a tool, not a goal. The more disciplined your energy, the more effortless your results. You understand that success is not built on hustle but on harmony. When your thoughts, energy, and actions align perfectly. The science behind it: retention resets dopamine, rebuilding your brain's ability to focus. Testosterone levels rise, boosting confidence and assertiveness. Your nervous system calms, allowing deeper thought. Every time you resist impulse, your prefrontal cortex, the billionaire brain, strengthens. Over time, this becomes your new normal. You no longer chase stimulation. You create inspiration. The power loop: when your energy is contained, it loops upward instead of leaking outward. This creates a feedback cycle of productivity, focus, and fulfillment. Each success fuels motivation. Each motivation fuels success. You start waking up with drive, not dread. The body becomes a generator of purpose. This is how inner energy translates into outer abundance, transforming desire into drive. Desire is not your enemy. Misdirection is. The same passion that seeks pleasure can build empires when redirected. Retention doesn't suppress lust, it refines it. It teaches you to turn temptation into determination. Every urge is a signal saying, you have power, now use it. When you master this alchemy, nothing external can distract you again. Becoming unshakable. By week 10, you no longer depend on motivation. You've built inner momentum. Stress doesn't control you, you control stress. When life throws chaos, you respond with precision. People sense this calm dominance. It's the invisible signature of true leaders. Billionaires are not lucky, they are centered. You've joined their frequency, the wealth frequency. Semen retention amplifies your frequency, your emotional and mental vibration. When you operate from clarity and confidence, opportunities appear. People feel it subconsciously. This is how success compounds. Energy gives focus, gives creation, gives reward, gives confidence, gives more energy. You've become a living example of abundance. The internal empire. True wealth isn't in your bank account, it's in your nervous system. A calm mind, strong body, and clear focus make money inevitable. Retention gives you the foundation to build any empire, business, legacy, or family. You are no longer reactive to the world. You are the architect of it. The energy of billionaires. Every billionaire possesses the same trait: controlled intensity. They harness emotion like a laser. Retention builds this laser within you. Your thoughts become sharper, your decisions cleaner. You stop wasting potential on pleasure and invest it in power. That's why the same 10 weeks that most men waste can completely redefine your destiny. Mastery beyond retention. Once you master retention, you realize it was never about holding back, it was about channeling forward. The goal isn't to avoid women or pleasure. It's to meet them from fullness, not need. The energy you cultivate becomes influence, creativity, and charisma. You've evolved beyond survival, integration, and legacy. At the end of this journey, you're not just a man who retained, you're a man who transformed. You've learned the ultimate truth. Wealth begins with self-mastery. Retention was the training ground. Life is now the battlefield. You move with calm dominance, confident energy, and an unshakable belief in your power. That's the billionaire state of mind. Conclusion. In just 10 weeks, semen retention can do what years of surface-level hustle cannot. It rebuilds your identity from the inside out. By mastering your energy, you mastered your attention. By mastering your attention, you mastered creation. You become the man who doesn't need to chase success because success now chases you. When the bank froze Arav's last account, Arav stared at the empty balance on his cracked phone screen. His company had failed. His friends had vanished. His body felt weak, his mind restless, and his nights lost in distraction. He had energy for everything except purpose. That night, he remembered an old monk's words. When you waste your seed, you waste your kingdom. He didn't understand it then, but with nothing left to lose, he made a vow. 10 weeks, I will hold my energy, rebuild my mind, and rise again. Step 1, the break. Week 1 was chaos. His body rebelled against restraint. He realized he'd been using pleasure to escape pain. Now, the silence hit hard. But as he endured, something subtle changed. His thoughts slowed, his eyes sharpened, his sleep deepened. The energy he used to scatter was beginning to return home. Step 2, the mirror. By week 2, he looked into the mirror and didn't see shame. He saw potential. Retention made his eyes brighter, his jaw firmer, his posture taller. He began journaling every morning, replacing temptation with gratitude. Each day of control rewired his self-image. His body started to reflect the power he once only imagined. Step 3, the focus formula. Week 3 brought clarity. He turned off his phone, deleted distractions, and read for hours. Psychology, business, philosophy. His mind, once foggy, became razor-sharp. Thoughts of lust turned into ideas. Each urge became fuel for creation. He noticed women noticing him, not because he chased them, but because his energy had turned inward, glowing instead of leaking. Step 4, the morning discipline. At dawn, he woke with purpose. Cold showers, deep breathing, workouts. He tracked every hour, every habit. What once felt exhausting now felt sacred. Semen retention had activated an inner fire, the dopamine of progress. His body became a generator of ambition. Step 5. The vision. By week 5, his heart stopped craving pleasure and started craving legacy. He wrote a 10-year vision and broke it into steps. He decided to rebuild his business from scratch, not for fame, but for mastery. He no longer chased women, money, or validation. They began chasing his frequency. His calm presence became magnetic. People wanted to be around him because he made them feel possibility. Step 6. The aura. Week 6 felt supernatural. When he walked into a room, people turned. His voice grew slower, his gestures smaller, his confidence louder. Even women who once ignored him now smiled first, not out of lust, but recognition. They felt a different vibration, a man who needed nothing. His energy was whole. Step 7. The flow. Now his days moved effortlessly. Opportunities he once begged for began calling him. He networked not from desperation, but from stillness. Investors sensed his conviction. His focus was contagious. Retention had given him something rare: presence. Every deal, every meeting, every handshake carried weight. Step 8. The rebuild. By week 8, he launched his second company, a digital brand teaching energy mastery and discipline. The same lessons that saved him now served others. He worked 16-hour days without burnout. His mind produced ideas faster than he could write them. The same energy that once drained him now drove empires. Step 9. The test. At week 9, temptation returned. A woman from his past reached out, beautiful, kind, everything he once wanted, but he was no longer controlled by chemistry. He met her for coffee, spoke with confidence, and walked away with peace. The power wasn't in rejection, it was in choice. He realized celibacy wasn't about running from desire, it was about owning it. Step 10. The quantum leap. By the 10th week, his business hit its first million in revenue, but the money was only a mirror of something greater: mental sovereignty. He had rewired his brain from consumer to creator, from lust to legacy. He didn't feel like a billionaire because of the digits in his account. He felt like one because his mind no longer bent to impulse. The return. When people asked his secret, he smiled and said, "I stopped leaking potential." They thought he meant time, money, or focus. Only a few understood he meant life force. He had learned what the ancients and the gurukuls once taught, that sexual energy is not evil. It is raw creation energy. The same force that creates life can also build empires when transmuted. What ancient sages called brahmacharya wasn't suppression. It was the art of energy mastery. The new curriculum, Arav, began teaching in modern schools, reintroducing the lost wisdom of the ancients. Instead of only teaching math and business, he added modules on breathwork, meditation, and self-discipline. His students reported sharper memory, emotional control, and stronger focus. He called it energy economics, understanding that your first currency is not money, but vitality. The shift. Soon, universities invited him to speak. CEOs quoted him. His viral talk, "How I Went from Bankrupt to Billionaire Using My Own Energy," crossed 50 million views. Men around the world began practicing semen retention, not as abstinence, but as self-engineering. The movement became global, the retention revolution. The balance. Years later, Arav found love, but this time, it wasn't need. His partner admired his calm strength and mental stillness. Their bond was sacred, not draining. He had learned to share energy without losing it. That was the final mastery, turning desire into devotion. The philosophy. Semen retention had taught him the real secret. Control your impulses, and you control your outcomes. Preserve your energy, and you amplify your aura. Channel your focus, and you magnetize success. Money, fame, and attraction are byproducts of inner alignment. What changed his life wasn't retention alone, it was the legacy. At the 10th week anniversary of his vow, he stood again in front of the mirror. The man staring back wasn't hungry or desperate. His eyes were still, glowing with the quiet fire of purpose. He whispered, "The seed I once wasted now grows empires." And that was the true billionaire's code, not about gold, but about energy transmuted into greatness. Do not let this powerful momentum fade. 2 things before you go. First, hit the like button to show the algorithm we are a force, and subscribe immediately so you don't lose the frequency shift we just created. Second, you are part of a global tribe, so claim your spot in the comments by dropping your location. Need accountability, deep questions answered, or direct support? That's what our Telegram is for. Join the inner circle. The link is below. Forward this video to one soul who needs to step into their power today. Have a force multiplying day.